What's going on, vinyl community? This is Jason with Jason's Vinyl Lab. And in today's video, we're going bootlegging. Now, I know it's been a while since I made a video. It's been several months. I've been broke a lot. Took 2 vacations this year with my wife. Had to go see my daughter graduate back in May. And then we celebrated our 15th anniversary at the end of July. And, I got sick for about a week and a half. Month or so before that, Michelle got sick, and it's just been, so I just haven't had the money to buy new records and have a whole lot of time, and so I've been working when I can, and but I'm back now. Hopefully I can start making videos on a regular basis again. Anyway, enough about that. Let me stop rambling on. So I want to talk about, obviously, bootleg records, and I got a small collection here, about, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 records, but 2 of them go to the same concert, Volume 1 and Volume 2, you'll see. All of them but one are from one band, Metallica, so I got 7 Metallica bootleg records, and I have 1 Megadeth bootleg record. I have not listened to the Megadeth one yet, so I can't really comment on whether or not you should buy it or not. I don't know. But I'll get back to that in another video. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to talk a little bit about each one. Then I'll give you my opinion whether or not it's worth picking up or not. So the first one, this is not in any particular order. This one's called Harvester of Sorrows. There's a glare in here. Anyway, it's their legendary concert live in Moscow, Russia in 1991. This one does come on yellow marble vinyl from Coda Records. Even looks official with the label. It looks really cool. The only thing is, the sound quality is really good. It sounds great. It's only, unfortunately, it's only about half the concert. There's 8 songs here, and the actual concert had 15 songs. So here we go. On side A, you got Enter Sandman, Creeping Death, Harvester of Sorrow. And then on side B, you have Fade to Black, Sad But True, Am I Evil, and Battery. Now, from my research, as far as bootlegs go, there is no bootleg that has a whole concert. There's different, there's multiple different bootlegs that you can get this concert on. But from what I've seen, they all have the same 8 songs. Why? I don't know. Now, there is the official release, but the only way to get that is if you buy the deluxe box set that they came out with, late last year. And $200+ right now. It's on sale for just under $200 on Amazon. I could save up for it, but it's a little out of my price range. For that kind of money, I can buy, 6 or 7 different records. I'd rather do that. The only thing I really would want out of that whole box set would be this concert. I wish they would sell it separately. If there was a way for me to get that concert by itself on vinyl, the whole show, I'd absolutely get it. But unfortunately, this is what I have. Next one this is another one that has many different releases, different versions. This is Woodstock 94. There's a lot of different covers out there, different companies have put it out. This one just comes on black vinyl, but it comes on 2 records. And the label is kind of generic, but it just says Metallica, then it has a track list. Nothing really cool about the label. But, obviously this picture looks like it was taken in 92, because obviously sometime in late 92, Jason had cut his hair off. So he had basically a buzz cut at Woodstock. This looks like a more accurate picture, I would say. But at side A, you got Starts off with Bread Fan, Master of Puppets, Wherever I May Roam, Harvester of Sorrow. Then you got side B, you got Fade to Black, For Whom the Bells Toll, Seek and Destroy. Side C, you got Nothing Else Matters, Creeping Death, Whiplash. And then finally side D, you have Sad But True, One, Enter Sandman, and So What. This is another one that sounds really good, so I would totally recommend this. I would also recommend that the Harvester of Sorrows one with the Moscow concert, unless you're able to get the the vinyl box set. If you're able to get that, go with that. Then no reason to get the bootleg at that point. But it does. But the Woodstock does sound really nice. This next one comes in two different records, or two different volume 1 and volume 2. Each volume has 2 different records, so it's a total of 4 records. There is an official release of this, but the only official release is in the box set of Injustice for All. But this does sound really good. There's really nothing in the Injustice for All box set that I really needed besides this concert, but then I discovered this bootleg, and I'm like, well, I'll just do that. Anyway, this is the Seattle 1989 legendary concert. You all know it. We've all seen it a million times, heard it. This one comes on clear vinyl, volume 1. When I bought it, the clear vinyl was the same price as the black vinyl, and if I remember correctly, when I bought this, the black vinyl was actually sold out at the moment. It comes in and out of stock all the time. So I bought the clear vinyl for the same price. It is what it is. I don't really care for clear vinyl, but I don't really have anything against it either. It just doesn't do anything for me. To me, it just seems like it's more fragile than any other color. But I don't know if that's just me. But here we go. It says limited edition. I don't think it really is. It has gone up in price a lot since I bought this. When I first bought this, it was $34 or $35 for volume 1. I want to say maybe 32. I'm not somewhere between anywhere from 28 to 35, somewhere in that range. I've had it for a while, so I don't exactly remember. On side 1, you have the Ecstasy of Gold / Blackened, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Side B, you got Sanitarium, Harvester of Sorrow, and the Four Horsemen. Side C, you have The Thing That Should Not Be, a bass solo, which leads into To Live Is to Die, which they don't really play the whole song from what I remember, but it's more the bass solo / To Live Is to Die is like a tribute to Cliff, basically. Then on side D, you have Master of Puppets and Fade to Black. This one also sounds really amazing. If you have the Injustice box set, no reason to really care about this, I suppose, but if you are like me and don't really want to pay the price for the box set, or not really a whole lot in there that you need, but you want this concert, this is a worthwhile bootleg. Now here is volume 2, though. Volume 1 obviously had a black cover. This one has a white cover. Why? I don't know. Now volume 2 does have a red vinyl variant. I didn't get that. I got just a black vinyl because when I bought the volume 1, they had volume 2 available on red vinyl for about the same price, maybe $1 or $2 more. But I didn't have enough money at the time to buy both. So, of course, I went with volume 1 first. And then when I went back a couple months later to get volume 2, for some reason the red vinyl had gone up to $54. Like, but the black vinyl I was still able to get for 30 something. I don't mind paying a couple extra dollars for colored vinyl if it's a record I really like or a band I love. I'm not going to pay $20 extra for it. I don't need a red vinyl that bad. Anyway, side A, you got Seek and Destroy and Justice for All. Side B is One, Creeping Death. Side C, a guitar solo Battery, The Frayed Ends of Sanity, which they only play a couple minutes of it. Side D, Last Caress, Am I Evil, Whiplash, and Bread Fan. Now, obviously, this whole concert comes on 4 LPs altogether. The official release, which I kind of wish the Bootleg had done it this way, comes on 3 LPs. So I don't know. I can't comment on how the official release sounds. I imagine it sounds great. But the Bootleg does sound good. So if you're in a position to get the box set, I don't even know if you can find it anymore for a fair price. But if you have it or you're able to get it, go for it. If not, hey, the Bootleg sounds great. I totally would recommend it. The next one, now these are my 2 favorite of all my Metallica bootlegs. I don't know which one I would say is better. They're both great. It's neck and neck. I totally recommend these 2. The third one, I would not recommend at all. But anyway, this is live at the Hammersmith Odeon, London, September 21st, 1986, just a few days, less than a week before the tragic accident we all know about. This is not the last show that they had with him. The last show was on the 26th. There is a bootleg of that, but it's hard to get. It's easy to get the CD bootleg, but the name of the bootleg is called The Final Gig. It's hard to find on vinyl. I definitely want it. From what I've streamed it on YouTube. It sounds good, but it's hard to find. But this one, I did get the variant on red vinyl. I was actually cheaper than what I was able to find on black vinyl for most sites. This comes from a website called Jacko Records. I'm not sure how you say it. $18.99. Most places are charging $20 something for the black vinyl. So it was $18.99 plus shipping. It might have been $5.99 for shipping. I could have got free shipping on Amazon, but then again, I was paying $20 something, so it was going to be the same, basically the same price. So I figured for the same price, I might as well get it on red vinyl. There is a variant. I didn't know this when I ordered the record. It comes on red marble vinyl. I kind of wish I had known that. That's if you, I probably would have bought it. I definitely recommend this. This is great, obviously, for 2 reasons. The sound quality is good. It's a great set list. You're talking the Master of Puppets tour. You can't go wrong. And it's one of Cliff's, obviously not the last show, but it's one of the last shows. So this is definitely something, any Metallica fan's going to want. Unless you are just the kind of person that just hates bootlegs. But if you don't mind bootlegs and you like the Cliff Burton era, this is a show that you would want in your collection. Now I'm going to give you the set list. Side A, Master of Puppets. Now it comes in a couple minutes late. As soon as you start the record, it starts off where it says, Needlework No Way, Never You Betray. It starts off right there. So you're missing the first couple minutes. I haven't listened to side 2 yet. I listened to side 1. It sounds fantastic. I have no reason to believe that side 2 is going to sound any different. I did listen to the first song on side 2. That's all I had time for yesterday because I was helping my wife do things around the house. But side A is Master of Puppets, like I said, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Sanitarium, Ride the Lightning, Whiplash. I believe there was a guitar solo or something like that somewhere in there that's not listed. I was kind of busy yesterday when I was listening to it, so I don't exactly remember. But it did sound fantastic. Side B, The Thing That Should Not Be, which is the only song I listened to. It sounds great. Fade to Black, Seek and Destroy, and Creeping Death. Fantastic set list. Great performance by the guys. I highly recommend this bootleg. 100%. This next one, this is our first time in Japan. It's called The Japanese Broadcast. This is another great show. This is not Jason's first gig, but it's one of the earlier gigs. This takes place in November of '86. His first gig took place early to mid-October. think there was one in California. Then they played some shows in Canada. And then they went back, and then they made it to Japan. This does come on white vinyl. I didn't even know that when I ordered it. White vinyl is the other color I really don't care for. But it's just like an off-white kind of. But I don't know, it's like an eggshell white. I don't know. But this one I actually don't mind. It actually looks pretty cool. Normally I don't like white vinyl, but this one I like it. It sounds great. Nothing fancy about the label. Just pretty generic. But I highly recommend this one. This is a great show. It's not the best sounding boot, but it does sound pretty good. I've heard better, but I've definitely heard a lot worse. So, you're not gonna, if you're an audiophile, this is probably not for you, but if you're a guy that just enjoys good concerts, wants to hear a good set list, decent sound quality, fairly good, get this record. A bunch of cool pictures of them, hanging out in Japan on the back. You have this on side A, Battery, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Sanitarium. Side B, you got Ride the Lightning, Whiplash, The Thing That Should Not Be, Fade to Black. Side C, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, and The Four Horsemen. And then finally, side D, you got a guitar solo, Am I Evil, Damage Incorporated, Fight Fire with Fire. It's a great show. It's not going to be the greatest sound quality you've ever heard, but it's going to be far from the worst. So it sounds good, not fantastic, but it sounds good enough to where I would say you would want this show. If you just want the best sound quality and you can only afford to get one bootleg, go with this one. But if you can get both, I would recommend both. Now, my last Metallica bootleg, this is one I highly would not recommend. Doesn't sound that great. It sounds like if somebody had an iPhone 10 or 11, went back in time with that iPhone and was like in the front one or two rows and recorded it. Not barely any bass. It's audible. You can hear it. It sounds okay. You can make out the instruments. It's just it says FM recording on there, or FM broadcast, but it doesn't really sound like it actually was if it was broadcasted on terrible equipment. This is the worst bootleg I have in my collection. Like I said, I haven't listened to the Megadeth one yet, so I don't know how that's going to sound, but it can't sound worse than this. The only way I would recommend getting this takes place in Missouri, May 24th, 1986. If you are like a die-hard Metallica fan that absolutely has to have everything with Metallica's name on it, and you want every bootleg you can get your hands on, get this record. Otherwise, or if you can find it for $5 or $10, why not? Don't get this record for any other reason. There's not even a label on the record. It just literally says side A and side B. This was put together very cheap. It does have a polyline sleeve. That's the highlight of the record. I'll still pull it out and listen to it once in a while. It's got, they put on a good performance. It's just 9 songs, 1 LP. It got side A, Battery, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ride the Lightning, The Four Horsemen, it's just side B, The Four Horsemen, Anesthesia, Damage Incorporated, Seek and Destroy, and Creeping Death. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like somebody recorded, maybe it was broadcasted on the radio, somebody recorded it on their tape, on a cassette tape, and maybe that cassette tape is worn out, and now it doesn't sound as good as it used to. That's kind of what it sounds like. Now, this last one, This one is obviously, this is Megadeth live in Los Angeles, 1995. There's another one I want to get where it's live in New York, 1992. This is, it's only 5 songs, so I don't know if it was like part of a festival or they're playing with a bunch of other bands and they only played a few songs, or they haven't really researched it. But I've seen this available a lot of places, so it seems to be pretty popular. Side A, Holy Wars, The Punishment. In My Darkest Hour. There's only 2 songs on side A. Then side B, you got Sweating Bullets, Mechanics, and Symphony of Destruction. So yeah, 5 good songs. Mechanics I can take or leave. I know a lot of people will say Mechanics is the real version and the Four Horsemen is the bastardized version. I'll take the Four Horsemen over the Mechanics any day of the week. It's a longer song. It's got that middle part which Mechanics doesn't have. Obviously the Mechanics is talking about working on a car. The Four Horsemen is talking about the apocalypse. I'll take that version. I don't mind the Mechanics. I've even heard, on the bootleg, the early version of when Dave was still in Metallica, when they played the Mechanics on different, shows back in '82. But to me, Four Horsemen is a superior song. This one's got a pretty cool label. Almost looks like an actual record. Got the nice blue label, Megadeth, live in Los Angeles, 1995. It doesn't tell you how long the songs are or anything. Of course, I got to get rid of that. I hate those paper sleeves. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's my collection of bootlegs. I will make a Megadeth video once I get the new album arrives. I pre-ordered it from Walmart. Yeah, the Walmart variant. There's I think it's calling it an ocean blue vinyl and a translucent green. It comes on 2 records. Each one's a different color. Once I get that, another week or so, I will tell you how that bootleg sounds, and I'll talk about the new record. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Cheers.